We would like to welcome you to the 2010 election road trip. I'm Nels Jensen, the Director of Content and Programming at the Press Enterprise and PE.com. We thank you for participating in this inaugural event, which is being sponsored not only by the Press Enterprise, but the Beaumont Cherry Valley Recreation and Park District and Mount San Jacinto College. This is the fourth of 25 forums that we're conducting this week around western Riverside County. Today we're here at the Noble Creek Community Center in Beaumont. Tuesday will be in Riverside. Wednesday will be at the college in San Jacinto. And Thursday and Friday will be at the college in Menifee. All of these forums will be streamed live on the internet here on PE.com and on Ustream.tv. These videos also will be available for on-demand viewing on our website, PE.com. As I mentioned, this is the fourth forum we've done today. This is for the Beaumont City Council, where there are 3 seats available. We'll spend about an hour talking about the city of Beaumont, which has been among the fastest growing in the state and the nation. The city was incorporated in 1912 and has a vibrant mix of old and new. We'll now meet the 7 candidates. They are seated in the order that they appear on the November 2nd ballot. And then after we go down this list, we'll give each candidate 2 minutes for an opening statement. To my immediate left is David Castaldo, a local businessman, Brenda Knight, a member of the Planning Commission, Roger Berg, a member of the City Council, Richard Beneke, a member of the Planning Commission, Paul St. Martin, an incumbent appointed to the Council, Victor Dominguez, a businessman and radio host, and Brian DeForge, an incumbent. As I mentioned, there are 3 seats on the 5-member council that are up for election. Mr. Berg, Mr. Martin, and Mr. DeForge are the incumbents. Now we'll take 2 minutes for an opening statement. Carol Park in the front row here is our timekeeper, and will signify the halfway mark with a little blue sign there, and also give you a warning as time's running out. We ask that you abide by the rules that we discussed before we came on the air. And again, at the end, we will grant everybody a 1-minute closing statement. So we will begin with David Castaldo.
Hello. I have lived and operated a business in Beaumont for many years. My wife and I recently celebrated our 20th anniversary. I have been involved in serving our community for many years. And my definition of community service is not picking up trash to pay for numerous legal violations. I served on the Planning Commission a full 4 years during the largest growth period of our city. I started standing up and fighting for our community when the county proposed a sludge plant. Not the one in Banning, but the one in Lambs Canyon many years ago. I pay my share of property taxes. I am not the candidate that hides behind my grandfather's war record by living in his house and refusing to pay property taxes. I believe in full and complete transparency of our city's spending. All citizens have the right to know where their tax dollars go. I am not the candidate whose family recently received a large check from Beaumont. I pay my own way, and as in the city of Bell, I do not expect the city to pay my debts. I am not the candidate with numerous civil judgments against him. I will not be smooth and slick by telling you rosy things and what sounds good, but I will tell you hard facts and truths of everything you need to hear and know. Anyone can blow smoke, I won't. Citizens of Beaumont, you can vote for 3 candidates. There are 6 well-qualified candidates on the ballot. Ask questions, research information. Knowledge is the key to being a responsible and informed voter. Please consider the integrity, honesty, and commitment to our community by each of the candidates. Government is for the people, and in Beaumont, by the people. It is all about the people. Choose the right. Thank you.
Okay, Brenda Knight.
Good evening. I'm Planning Commissioner Brenda Knight, where I've served for a year, and I'm currently the Vice Chair. I attended Weber State University and received recognition on the National Dean's List for 2 years. I have the equivalent of an AS+, and I'm currently working online to finish my Bachelor of Integrated Studies. In May, I was appointed to chair the PASS EDA Shop the Pass campaign. Our goals are to provide shopping in the Pass, to promote shopping in the Pass area, help our small businesses, and keep our tax dollars local. I worked many years as a corporate controller and spent lots of time in land use development. I'm currently a small business owner. Although our city is fiscally sound, we have many issues due to the current economic environment. People are worried about their safety, especially with the numerous homes that are empty. We must manage a high level of police and emergency services. We need to bring jobs to our community. I plan to seek out grants from state and local governments, economic development, anything we can do. Our current in our schools, our current lack of busing has created traffic jams and safety issues at our local schools. An effort has been initiated to solve this, but it needs to be expedited. Our city will benefit from having a better balance between the new and the older residents. I can help achieve that balance. I will put my intellect, experience, and heart into our community, but I need your vote. Thank you.
Okay, Roger Berg.
Hi, I'm Roger Berg. To tell you a little bit about myself, I was born here in Beaumont 55 years ago. Actually, my dad was on the city council here, and I think that's where I got my idea and started saying, hey, I want to do something in the community. So we want to know a little bit about me. I have a wife named Kathy. We have 5 kids, 3 boys, 2 girls. The youngest 2 are in college still. I have 1 grandson. I grew up here in Beaumont when the town was small. I mean, I don't know if I rode bicycles with Brian DeForge down there. We all, went together and did things. And we still like that small town atmosphere. But we knew the community was going to grow. And, going to school and stuff, and I spent my time, I'm a veteran from the Air Force, and I was on the volunteer fire department for 6 years and on the planning commission. And I got my college degree from Chapman University with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. So we looked at these things and we says, this community is going to grow. What are we going to do? And I said, when I decided to run for council in '93 when I got elected, my idea was to try and keep things the same they were, but still we're going to grow, we're going to control it. And we've done that. The community is sound. The community's got new homes, we got businesses, we got lots of money in the bank, and we didn't have to lay anybody out. I think we've done a good job, and it's because the community's done a good job in supporting us. What else can I say? This is a great community to live in. I love it. I enjoy the people that I've worked with in the community and on the city council. I love living here. People have said a lot of things, saying there's some bad things going on, stuff in the community, that we're not open. We're very open. It's all on the website. Anytime you get a record and stuff, it's there. So, this is interesting. Okay? Anyway, thank you very much.
Okay. Richard Beneke.
Thank you. I want to thank the Press Enterprise and their affiliate sponsors for hosting this event. I think it's fantastic to have this opportunity to share my vision with you. I also have a website, and you can learn all about me on that website. I'm not going to sit here and tell you about all this stuff I've done in my life. It's there in print my whole life, from when I was born in Oak Park, Illinois, and moved out here with my family when I was 3 years old, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The website, www.beneke4Beaumont. Numerical 4, Beneke, numerical 4, Beaumont.com. My vision for Beaumont starts with a quality of life, which includes excellent police and fire protection, well-maintained parks, abundant recreational opportunities, a rebuilt downtown with unique specialty shops, medical facilities, a user-friendly post office, affordable senior housing, fine dining, cultural art programs, regional youth programs, an abundance of quality water. The feeling that you as a citizen made the right choice to reside and conduct your business in a city that is friendly and a great place to live, work, and play. I share that vision with you. I hope you give me the opportunity to work on that vision with you as we promote beautiful Beaumont. Thank you very much.
Okay. Paul St. Martin.
Fiscal responsibility is the foundation upon which quality of life is built. This is true in your own families, businesses, and in the city of Beaumont. I am Councilmember Paul St. Martin, and I am seeking your vote for City Council to preserve the quality of life in Beaumont. A fiscally sound city attracts successful companies with jobs. If elected, I will pursue bringing jobs at all levels in the fields of healthcare, R&D, technology, and education. A strong base and a good education system attract families and encourage developers to build sensible housing communities. If elected, I will work with all the local agencies to ensure we remain a vibrant community and one in which families want to raise their children and enjoy retirement. Retail follows strong housing. This provides a tax base upon which the City of Beaumont can continue to offer an outstanding police, fire, and paramedic team that is second to none and there when you need them. It was my honor to serve as Planning Commissioner for the past 5 years, serving 2 terms as chairperson. I was further honored to be appointed to the City Council this past June. I can commit the time and the passion to continue to serve you and to be available to listen to your concerns. I helped to bring the first men's health fair to Beaumont. I'm involved with bringing live theater to Beaumont. I'm an active Rotarian involved in the Cherry Festival Parade and the Senior Thanksgiving Dinner. I am involved with the negotiations to bring an ample water supply to the Pass area. Quality of life, making the City of Beaumont the place in which to safely live, work, play, shop, and worship. Together we can work to preserve this great city. Elect Paul St. Martin, Beaumont City Council, preserving our quality of life.
Okay, now we'll hear from Victor Dominguez.
I would like to say thank you to the Press Enterprise for putting on this, and thank you for the Press Enterprise staff for your hard work and to putting this event together for us. I'd also like to take some time to say thank you for tuning in to us. I know you're viewing this from a podcast at your own convenience. Thank you so much for taking the time to go to the website and view this to get educated on all of us. Once more, I'd like to extend my appreciation and thanks to all the current council people that are here with me tonight, and also to all the candidates. Thank you very much for being here so we can all be educated in this process, so that way the voters can make an educated decision. Thank you. There are many principles I would like to share with you tonight. First of all, I've decided to review all contracting practices the city has, including Urban Logic and our very own city manager. Holding all city officials accountable and transparent, including myself, is the right thing to do. Then, as your councilman, we will create a new department within our government, the Department of Business and Technology Development. Some of the same technology that you're listening to us here today, communications. Communication technology development is very crucial to a very successful and vibrant business. As we get to our regional and global markets, we have businesses in town today that can really benefit from this type of department to put them on a more regional and global places, that way they can sell and do their services. And part of this is technology you see here today. So again, that being said, finally, Beaumont is a great place to live, work, and play. I was born in Beaumont 37 years ago, right here in town. I understand this community. I love this community. And I would like to ask for your vote, ask for your confidence, and ask for your trust. And believe me, once I'm at City Hall, I will represent you and not the special interest. And finally, another big thing I have is sex offenders. We have over 45 registered sex offenders and or child molesters living within our community. I make a promise to my community today that I will definitely be proactive in that and to get more education and awareness for Megan's Law. Thank you.
Okay, and finally we'll hear from Brian DeForge.
Good evening. I'm Brian DeForge, current mayor for the city of Beaumont and incumbent running for re-election. I'm a longtime Beaumont resident myself. My wife and I have been married for 31 years, met at Beaumont High School, all through Beaumont schools. I've raised 3 daughters in the community. 2 have graduated through college. 1 is getting ready to graduate. I was on the city council, appointed to the city council in 1999. Served, this will be my end of my 3rd term. During my time on the city council, we have had a balanced budget for 11 plus years, every year that I've been on the council. We've had a $10 million surplus that we've been able to build over those years. So when we look at fiscal responsibility and you look at fiscal solvency, the city of Beaumont is there. We do things a little different in the city of Beaumont than other cities. When one person wants to talk about less government, we do contract out for less government, and we do a better job at it. The platform that I'm running on is that one of safety. We have the highest ratio of police to fire. We have police and fire. We also have fiscal solvency. We want to maintain that and stability for our community. We want to create more jobs. We want the buzzword around the area anymore is sustainability. The city of Beaumont is very close to that, and we need to continue to grow. We need to continue to grow in 3 different areas: residential, commercial, and our shopping areas, so we can provide those services and quality of life to our community that they deserve. I'm Brian DeForge. I'm running for Beaumont City Council. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for those opening statements. Now we move on to questions that we have from the newsroom staff of the Press Enterprise and also submitted from readers. You'll have 1 minute to respond to each question. Again, Carol is our timekeeper and will be notifying at 30 seconds and when time is up. We've arranged the order so that no candidate will answer a question first for consecutive questions. All right, the first question will be for challengers. We are going to begin with Victor Dominguez. Victor, what can you bring personally to the council that will improve the city, that help the council improve the city of Beaumont?
Thank you for that question. The one thing that I can bring to City Council is one thing that has been lacking in my opinion, which is common sense. The one thing I can bring to this council is the everyday transparency and accountability that's deserved to the taxpayers. The one thing that I can bring to this council is the respect and the accountability to all the community people that live in this past area. It's one thing that we need and one thing that we have to follow through on. The government is here to serve us. We're not here to serve the government. We also got to make sure that businesses can survive. Businesses can be transparent. Business needs technology. We have to move into a technology-based businesses. Right now, I have 4 children that are going to leave in the high school system, going to the college system. I would like them to pursue a career in technology because technology is where our commerce is going. And we must put the stake in the ground today. We must approach technology-based companies to tell them that Beaumont is a great place to live, work, and play. The same technology that you're listening to me on this very moment. Thank you. My name is Victor Dominguez.
Okay, Richard Beneke, what can you bring personally to help the council in its efforts to improve the city?
You'll read this on my website, benekeforbeaumont.com. That's numerical 4. I have 37 years administrative executive experience. 17 years of those 37 years was in economic development. 4 years with the city of San Bernardino. 13 years with the Department of Defense. I closed 2 military bases. $500 million of military base infrastructure was closed. I worked with those communities to help revitalize those bases. I was very successful in doing that, and I'll do that for the city of Beaumont. We need it. Thank you.
Okay, Brenda Knight, what will you personally bring to the council to improve the city of Beaumont?
First, I have the ability to bring people together, and we've seen that on the past Economic Development Agency. We've brought together, as being chair, the entire group from Calamasa to Cabazon together. That was hard work, and it will be hard work to sustain it. I've forged relationships not only in our city, but other cities. I currently met assemblyman that chairs that brings in of the state of California for economic development. I've lived in numerous places, other cities, because my husband was in the aerospace industry. My perspective is different. I was a corporate controller. That's a huge headache, big money, and I did well at it. I can bring good things to our community, and I need you to vote for me. Thank you.
Okay, David Castaldo, what can you personally bring to the council to improve the city?
I have been in business since the day I got out of high school in 1979. It is the same business. That is what, about 31 years in the same business. I can bring stability. I can bring my experience. I have 4 years on the Beaumont Planning Commission. The 4 years were the largest growth period in our city. Several times, on many occasions, we had to meet twice a month. On many occasions, our meetings ran up into 12 o'clock at night. I have the support of 3 water board members and the support of the past water management. All 3 people signed my nomination papers. I want to try to resolve our water issues in our city and look forward to the future for all of us. Thank you.
Okay, similar question for the incumbents. We'll begin with Roger Berg. What personally have you done on the council to improve the city of Beaumont?
Okay, as I stated before, when I came on the council in '93, the city of Beaumont was $2 million in debt. We had to develop a plan that would work. The plan we had was to take the development that was going to come and help them to pay for the infrastructure, to develop commerce and stuff. We've done that. As Brian said, we got $10 million in the bank. We got commercial development, we got a lot of homes, we got all the roads that have been repaved in the community, we got bridges being built, we have parks, we have like over 100-acre parks. We used to just have a couple acres of parks. We completely rebuilt the city hall. We have done, one thing we've done that's really working, they talked about working with the water and park district. We stopped lawsuits. We got the recycle water going. All these facilities you've seen around here in this park were done with the help of city of Beaumont because we got that litigation stopped.
Okay, Brian DeForge, what personally have you done on the council to improve the city?
Thank you for the question. During my time on city council, I would have to say that fiscal responsibility and fiscal management is one of the biggest things I'm proud of. However, that only does so well unless you can improve the quality of life for the citizens. So during my time, we've been able to bring in the Albert E. Chatney Community Center, the first new building that was built strictly for the community, 24,000 square feet, gym, meeting halls, has a child care element, senior element, very fantastic building. And probably one of the other things, Palm Avenue renovation, to bring that street back up to the way it should look, like it was in the historic past. And I think concerts in the park have brought people out to let them know what small town community is like. And I think those are the three things that I'm probably the most proud of. Thank you.
Okay, Paul St. Martin, what personally have you done on the council to improve the city?
In a very short period of time that I've been on the council, I have been an advocate for the small businesses. I had areas removed of the bike lanes that were affecting businesses. I was involved with lightening up on the displays that the businesses could present in front of their establishments so that they could attract attention. And one thing I'm very proud of is I was one vote that eliminated the marijuana facility here in the city of Beaumont. Thank you.
Okay, the next question we're going to begin with Paul. If elected, what will be your top priority?
My top priority is to, as a council member, I will work with the staff to attend conferences designed to promote the city of Beaumont to prospective employers. These events are available through the County Economic Development Agency and can be accessed for a nominal fee. I have the time and the desire to do what it takes to keep Beaumont the place to live, work, play, worship, and raise a family. I will continue to work to improve our streets, to further develop strong working relationships with other governing agencies, local and county, and the Morongo Band of Mission Indians. I have a unique ability to get groups and people to work together towards a common goal.
Okay, Brenda Knight, if you are elected, what will be your top priority?
First, keeping our city safe, and then jobs. That's what I see in our community. Our street, we've had 5 divorces and 5 empty houses. We have people, our neighbors, out and about that have lost their jobs. We have to focus on that, bring in monies, look everywhere we can to help our community. Bring in educational tools, retrain people, do whatever we can, but our community needs that. We need jobs.
Okay, Roger Berg, what will be your top priority?
My top priority would be families. And how would I explain that is we got a lot of talent in this community. We've got 2 senior adult communities that moved in here recently. A lot of talent with these people. Some are retired educators. I would sit there and utilize these people to help those families that are struggling. It's a lot of work to raise kids. We need to continue to work on our city bus system, bring those kids home from school, and get the education they need. Once they get the education, they can go get the jobs. So we can bring the industry in because we'll have a viable workforce to make it happen.
Okay, Victor Dominguez, what will be your top priority?
My top priority would be very simple. The first thing is keeping children safe. Right now we have over 45 registered sex offenders / child molesters living within our community, and to me that's unacceptable. I will definitely advocate for the Megan's Law. Megan's Law was created for awareness, something that we need to make aware to our citizens, and that's my top priority. The second thing is to be technology-based businesses. We need to go after technology-based firms to promote Beaumont, to explain to them that Beaumont is the place to be for our community, for our kids. Technology-based jobs can support a household. It's a great job for children to go to while they're going to college. Beaumont is the perfect place for it. And lastly, is just to be accountable and transparent. All city officials need to be accountable and transparent, including myself. That, to me, is top priority. Thank you so much. My name is Victor Dominguez.
Okay, Brian DeForge, what would be your top priority?
I think my top priorities, number one, is that I think the downtown area needs to be renovated, and it needs to be a destination for people to go. We have our retail shopping out on the perimeters of the community, so we need specialty shops like entertainment, restaurants, bakery, something like that that will be a specific destination that people want to go. Keep it renovated into a old town 40s type situation where it's very comfortable and pedestrian friendly. And probably of the highest priority is going to have to be water. We're going to need to work and resolve water issues in this area. Councilman St. Martin and I have already started on a program to work with that, along with trying to work with our Beaumont Cherry Valley Water District personnel. So I believe water in downtown are probably the number one issues. Thank you.
Okay, Richard Beneke, what's your top priority?
I want to thank Councilman DeForge for agreeing with my vision. Economic development, water development, they go hand in hand. One cannot survive without the other. We need economic development in our community. The priority has been too long on building rooftops. We got to turn that around, and I'm willing to commit myself 110%. I'm going to be a full-time councilman. It's not going to be a part-time job for me. You can count on that. Thank you very much.
Okay, and David Castaldo, what will be your top priority?
My top and only priority would be resolving the water issues in our community. We have a reclaimed water plant that needs to operate. We also need to start capturing more rainwater. In the year 2014, we have a deadline that we need to put back the same amount of water that we are drawing out now. Right now, we're on a negative draw. That doesn't mean that we're going to run out of water in the next day, next year, or next decade. It means that we're using more water than we're replenishing. Very simple, we need to replace it. And people ask me, how do I plan on doing that? Very simple. The water board, the city council, we stick them in a room, we sit down and we discuss it, and we keep doing it week after week, month after month, until it's resolved, and then we can have a bright and happy future for the city of Beaumont. Thank you.
Okay, this question will be go to Roger Berg first. It has to do with the issue of revitalizing downtown Beaumont. Roger, what is your opinion of the city's contract with Urban Logic?
The contract we got with Urban Logic is a good deal for the city of Beaumont. That contract is renewed by the city council at least on a yearly basis. So I'll have a chance to look at it. I've looked at it every year. And you compare it to what it costs to do something. We can bring in experts we need. We need experts in environmental. We need experts in structural. We need experts in the field of planning that we may not have. We can bring these people in and get them out of here when we're done with them. And we're not paying for unemployment benefits. We're not paying to get rid of them. We can bring them in, bring them out, and we get the expertise we need, and we save money. And it's a proven fact. We've saved the money in the community. That's why we have a surplus.
Okay, Victor Dominguez, what is your opinion of the city's contract with Urban Logic?
Well, my opinion is pretty straightforward and pretty blunt. I do believe that Urban Logic has spent enough time here in our community. I do believe that their contract needs to be removed and another one needs to be put in place. Has Urban Logic done a fine job for us in the past? Yes, they have. Can we get another contractor in here that's more transparent and more accountable to the taxpayer dollars? Yes, we can. And that's my opinion on Urban Logic. There's no mincing words about that. That's where I stand. And my name is Victor Dominguez, and I appreciate your vote.
Okay, Brian DeForge, your turn. What is your opinion of the city's contract with Urban Logic?
When I first got on the city council, I had my own suspicions about Urban Logic, and I did my own investigations, much the same as Mr. Dominguez had done and came to the council and told us he found nothing wrong. Urban Logic has served the city well. They've saved us money, and they've used personnel that we would have had to normally hire, and now in this economic time, we would have had to lay them off. So Urban Logic has done a good job for our community. I am working on a transition plan for key positions to go in full-time as it's economically viable for our city, and those are key positions that are currently being held by Urban Logic. Started this plan about 2.5 years ago. But as the economy shows and it's warranted, that's when we need to do it. And so anyway, my opinion is I think Urban Logic's done a great job. Thank you.
Okay, Richard Beneke, what is your opinion of the city's contract with Urban Logic?
Well, I think Urban Logic has done a great job for the city. However, they've been here a long time, and consultants usually come in independent, hire Beaumont people. Not for any kind of profit a company or corporation makes.
Okay, David Castaldo, what is your opinion of the city's contract with Urban Logic?
My opinion of Urban Logic is really simple. As people, we all have doctors, we all have employed certain people to work around our house, and we've even employed gardeners. I don't go to my gardener and ask him what's wrong with my foot, nor do I ask the guy that repairs my electrical problem to cut grass. Everybody has a place and does a great job. We hired these experts to do a job, and they've done a job for the city of Beaumont. We asked them to increase our economic position. For the last 10 years, they've done a great job. Like any contract, whether it's your doctor or somebody fixing your house, we need to take a look at that contract and make sure it's still up to date. But they have served this city very well, and we do need to scrutinize what they do. Thank you.
Paul St. Martin, same question. Your opinion of the city's contract with Urban Logic?
My opinion is they have served this city very well. What people don't realize is that if you have employees, there's a tremendous expense that goes along with having employees. So I don't believe that Urban Logic has been a drastic drain on the city's resources. They have helped us move forward into the future, and I believe they could continue to do that. Thank you.
Brenda Knight, final word on your opinion on the city's contract with Urban Logic.
I have read the contracts with Urban Logic. I never had any problems getting them from the city. I believe they've done a good job in our community. The results you can see everywhere. Now, they've been here a long time. Their contracts have been reviewed over and over again, even by outside sources. I think that what I see in the city when I'm there, it looks to me like they're in the process of being gradually phased out because they aren't needed as much as they were. But I do believe they've done a good job for our city, and I researched what I am speaking about. I'm one that I try to know the facts and not speak based on things that I haven't read.
Okay, this next question will start with Brian DeForge. What is your position on the medical marijuana dispensaries for the city?
My position on medical marijuana right now is the fact that if it's legal in the feds and legal in the state, then it should be legal in the cities. However, it's still not legal in the feds. Although the state has said that they would that it's legal, the feds don't. And as a council member, I'm sworn in to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of California. In my opinion, they're not legal, so they don't need to be in the city of Beaumont.
Okay, Victor Dominguez, what's your position on the medical marijuana dispensaries?
That's a good question, and I'm being very blunt about it. I'm against medical marijuana. However, we have to look at the plans, and we have to be aware of all citizens' concerns. Just because I'm personally against something doesn't mean that I'm not going to listen to the citizen who's for it, or for the group of people that are for it. The council had a staff report to approve medical marijuana based on the revenues that they were going to pay in tax dollars. I'm not totally against that. If the tax dollars generated meet the demand and can serve all concerns of all citizens, then yes, I would vote for it. But I have to understand that when you're a council person, we represent the people not our own particular special interest. So with that being said, I hope that makes my answer nice and clear.
Okay, Richard Beneke, what's your position on medical marijuana dispensaries?
As a member of the Planning Commission, I've always advocated that if it's legal, I always ask the attorneys, is this legal, what we're doing? Because I, for one, also abide by the law. And if the voters of California, if the federal government, a lot of ifs here, but if they go ahead and approve these, that's the law of the land. There's not a lot we can do, except as a council, we can basically set up zones for these places to be in. We can put them in industrial zones or somewhere where they're not right down Main Street. So that's basically where I stand on the issue. Is that too wishy-washy? No.
You done? All right. David Castaldo, what's your position on medical marijuana dispensaries for the city?
The key word is medical marijuana. If it is indeed a medical, then it is a drug, and I consider marijuana a drug, and it should be dispensed by a pharmacy. Too many people are using this medical marijuana for recreational use, and it's easy to get. If it is a drug, dispense it like a drug. I'm 49 years old. I grew up during the drug culture. In my years, I have never seen any person successful in their life smoking dope. It is called dope when it's a recreational use. It belongs to be, if it is a drug, and I believe it is a drug, it should be dispensed as a drug properly. Thank you.
Paul St. Martin, what is your position on medical marijuana dispensaries?
I think I explained what I did, but the reason I am opposed to it, we have been given very ambiguous rules as to how to deal with medical marijuana, and until we can get some clarification that is statewide rather than individual communities, I think the best thing to do is to leave them out of our communities until there is a more distinct ruling on how to deal with these facilities.
Brenda Knight, what's your position on medical marijuana dispensaries?
I am not against the Compassionate Use Act. I think that that's been in place for a long time. However, I think the best explanation that I have heard regarding the marijuana is from our Riverside County Sheriff, Stan Sniff. I've had an opportunity to speak to him several times regarding this issue. There are no safeguards in place in Prop 19 like we have for alcohol. There's no judging how high is. So say someone's out driving and they're high, how does that put our law enforcement? What does that do to our communities? How do we safeguard our communities? We saw several months ago our chief of police try to put an ordinance into place because he was worried about this. If Prop 19 passes, we're going to have a terrible headache of how to figure out how to deal with it.
Okay, Roger Berg, what's your position on medical marijuana dispensaries?
Well, as Brian said, my position is that the federal law says it's illegal. And until that state law is corrected, it's a nice proposition, but it didn't work. The state legislature needs to go back and fix that law. They shouldn't be making the city councils and the county board of supervisors solve their problem for them. They need to take care of it. The federal law says it's not legal, that therefore it's not legal. And I don't want to be responsible for that. And on what Dave said too is really, that should be actually dispensed by a pharmacy. Because a pharmacy can control it, they can give them the right things. They have no idea what they're getting in this drug right now. And they truly need it. I think I'd rather get it from a pharmacy if I was going to be prescribed for me.
Okay, this next question will go to Brian DeForge first. Beaumont has been one of the fastest growing cities in the state, and now the city has been hard hit by foreclosures. What's the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont now?
That's kind of a difficult question. In what is the appropriate size? It seems rather ambiguous. If you look at total build out, at one time they talked 120,000 homes. Well, that's not going to happen. between open space that has been allotted for preservation. Right now, I think we're running at 36,000 population. We are having a number of foreclosed homes, and I think that's more due to the economy and inflated prices of homes when they were going out. Appropriate size of Beaumont at build out, in my opinion, 30 years down the road, 40 years down the road, maybe 60,000. That would put us somewhere near the same size as Redlands. Redlands is an excellent community that keeps a small town feeling, and I think that's probably about the same size for Beaumont. Thank you.
Okay, Richard Beneke, same question. What's the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont now?
I think the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont is what we can accommodate with our resources that we have available. If there's not water here, why build more homes? That's just going to affect all of us. Our water rates are going to go up. We're going to be paying more for it. So I think we need to be prudent in building without taking stock in what our resources are to allocate. Do we have enough money for police and fire protection? Do we have enough money to support these new residents? We don't even have a good downtown yet. We need to rebuild our downtown so these new people coming in can have a place to shop, spend their money. That is a tough question, but we need planned growth, and that planning needs to occur with resources in mind, so we just don't overbuild. Thank you.
Okay, David Castaldo, what's the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont now?
I share Mr. Beneke's views. We can't grow too fast, nor can we grow too slow. We need to grow at a pace that our infrastructure and our resources are made available. We do need the water. We don't need to drain our water reserves anymore. We need to resolve those issues before we can grow any faster. However, I'm not a no-growth person. We can't just stop not growing homes. That creates a stagnant community, and stagnant communities die awfully quick. We need to progress forward, but we need to do it in a very well-constructed, prudent, and efficient way. Thank you.
Paul St. Martin, what's the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont now?
Right now, the size we are is perfect. But I do agree with the developments that have already been approved, and that probably should be the maximum that we would grow. We need to be, as David Castaldo mentioned, we need to be watching our resources, making sure that when we bring people into the city of Beaumont, that they have a safe place to work, play, and enjoy their families. And until we can assure that they have all of those amenities and quality of life, then we need to balance the growth.
Brenda Knight, same question. What's the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont now?
I'm not a no-growth person. I think we need to grow smartly and really watch what we're doing. We're at capacity with our water right now, although we do have some good things coming in. I would like us to focus more on our areas, our downtown, through economic development, and focus on things that we need really to focus on and then grow more. Like our schools, one of the biggest irritating things with parents is trying to drop off and pick up their kids. We have got to figure that out. I was in North Carolina 6 months ago. They've got it figured out. They have the same problems, no busing. But we need to do some of those things that have been, I'm very pleased with our city, but things that have kind of been left behind along the way.
Okay, Roger Berg, what's the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont now?
The appropriate size for the city of Beaumont is really based on a lot of things. It's what you do. And you can take a half-full glass of water. It's either half empty or it's half full. I have to look at it as half full. We talk about water problems we got. We have a basin here that needs some water put in. Let's go out and find the water, and that's what we've been working on. We're talking about a cooperative agreement with the Morongo tribe, finding other sources of water so we can continue to build industry, jobs, development. That's how you do it. We have a lot of development here that's infill. It needs to be finished in and around all the developments. They're approved already. We need to go out and find the new sources of water and finish those things so we can bring jobs in. This community will become stagnant if you don't keep being progressive and looking forward.
Okay, that leaves Victor Dominguez. What's your view on the appropriate size for the city of Beaumont now?
That's a very good question. Homeowners and parents out there that you're listening to us right now and you're clicking on this live later on at your own convenience, school safety, children's safety. Right now, this is an example of Urban's logic. You know, we have our kids that don't even have sidewalks. We have our kids that walk through a ditch when it rains and they get wet feet. As a school, matter of fact, you see your kids when you come home from school. That's Urban's logic. That's what they created for us. They created a school system for us with no proper infrastructure that keeps in mind of our children's safety. We have thousands of cars, thousands of kids walking, sharing the same road. We have a construction facility that's going on right now for the stadium. Now they're putting semis and diesels out there. You know, that's just a matter of when something's going to happen. And that, again, that's an example of Urban's logic. Right now, we have 36,000 people, according to Brian DeForge, and right now we can't even accommodate them. My total build out for this community, in my opinion, is 50,000. 50,000 homes, 50,000 people is a great, great community to where we can live, work, and play, but we cannot use Urban's logic. We got to use common sense.
Okay, this question will be directed first to Brenda Knight. How can the city of Beaumont bring jobs and new businesses to the city?
Well, here we go. Economic development again. We have in our community new groups. One of them I saw the paperwork on yesterday. They're bringing in grants to the community to help us. We need to look and search out everywhere we can to bring monies into our community, whether it be through the state, local, federal government, however we can do it.
Okay, Richard Beneke, same question. How can the city attract jobs and new businesses?
Well, I think you have to look at where we're at. We have a lot of businesses in our community. Why don't we help them grow? Why do you have to go out there and recruit new businesses? First, take care of our own. Then get out there and utilize the talents that are in our community. I run into people every day that retired from IBM, Lockheed. They have contacts at these businesses. Why don't we use some of those resources, see if they can get an inroad for us to maybe get a satellite manufacturing or satellite industrial or commercial place here. You got to use what you have available for you. That is economic development one. Use your current resources to help advance your economic development. Thank you.
Okay, David Castaldo, what can be done to bring jobs and new businesses to the city?
Mr. Beneke is correct. We need to take care of the businesses that are in this town. And we're all losing focus on the big picture. It's not the city of Beaumont that's against jobs or economic development. It's the state of California. State of California successfully chased many high-tech firms out of their state through their regulation. I, as a local business owner for 30 years, are under the jurisdiction of almost 15 different government agencies. We need to take away all these controls and issues that the state has plagued us with. Then maybe we'll be able to get some jobs in this city. But we need to take care of our own successfully and build from within. Thank you.
Okay, Paul St. Martin, same question.
My plan for the city of Beaumont is to make sure we are fully prepared to be competitive when the economy rebounds and development begins to flourish. We cannot be waiting for the right moment to encourage commercial and industrial development in the areas zoned for that purpose. These are tough times, and we need to invite and incentivize businesses to locate in the city of Beaumont. Our future depends on a robust, balanced community. Bedroom communities do not survive. We need to be producing more than beautiful homes.
Okay, Roger Berg.
I wouldn't say what I plan to do, it's what we are doing. We're building a bridge over the creek there. We're going to eventually build a underpass there at Potrero Boulevard to bring Winco in so they can get those trucks off there. We built a rail system to bring in potatoes, to build a load facility there so they could offload property, blocks and things like that. We have to utilize what we have. And by bringing these businesses in, we've created jobs. And these are better paying jobs. The one problem we've had here is we've had people think all you can do is work for the school district, you can have a low paying job. Let's get some good jobs in here. Part of what Dave said is true. Industry is really going to hurt with the state regulations. We've done a lot already, and Urban Logic has helped us in trying to bring a lot of jobs into Beaumont.
Okay, Victor Dominguez, what can the city of Beaumont do to attract jobs and new businesses?
That's my favorite question. First of all, we can build a bridge, but we can't build sidewalks for our kids at schools. Something wrong with that picture there. Second, technology-based firms. That's what I've been saying all along. The same technology that you're viewing on us today, the same technology that gave you access to us this very moment. So again, thank you for tuning in. This is technology that we want to create jobs in. It can create jobs for kids coming out of high school so they can work through college, and it can also create jobs for people who can maintain a lifestyle and a home and raise a family. We're 7 hours away from the capital of technology. These businesses will locate here. These businesses can locate here. We are fiberly optically wired throughout our community. We have the resources for them. We just have to go out there and ask for them. So it's all about mindset. It's all about your mindset. I'm 37 years old. My mindset is technology. I know that's where the future is going. We got to put our stake in the ground today.
Okay, and last word on this question, Brian DeForge. What can the city of Beaumont do to attract jobs and new businesses?
Well, I think every candidate has some very valid points and very good points about how to bring jobs to the city, and I agree with the points on each candidate. I think the biggest thing we have to do is we have to market our community. We have to show that Beaumont is a place that they need to be. We've got that through our freeways, through our railroad system. We're set up for that, and we've brought some in. The type of businesses you want are varied. We have to have high-paying jobs. We need to have the higher end. I think Mr. Dominguez brought this up with the technology sector. We need to bring that into our area as well. Used to be that it would be too far from the hub, but because we're so located to the freeways, the railways, and the airports, I think it's closer than we've ever been. So I think we need to incentivize businesses to come in. We have to market our community and just really show them what a good place Beaumont is to bring their business to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for responses to those questions. Now we are going to have an opportunity for candidates to each make a 1-minute closing statement. We are going to start on the opposite end from the opening statements. So Brian DeForge will go first. Brian, you have the floor for 1 minute.
All right, thank you very much for this opportunity to have a candidate forum. I really appreciate everybody's comments, and I would like to thank you, everybody, for coming out. A couple of things that need to be somewhat clarified. The medical marijuana, we did have an idea. We did have an idea in front of us that the chief had put forward. But truthfully, it didn't solve a problem. It was almost like selling out to marijuana. Until there are clear guidelines, we can't do that. Planned growth is something we need to do in every area, and that means water, that means streets, infrastructure, everything. So we need to do that. And just through the clarification, Urban Logic is not in charge of building sidewalks around schools. They work with the school district to do that. School district is its own entity, and we've been trying to work very steadily with them to get sidewalks around there. So, and we're continuing to do that. We don't want our kids hit or walking in the mud. Thank you very much. I'm Brian DeForge. I'm running for office November 2nd, 2010.
Okay, Victor Dominguez, 1 minute.
Again, I would like to say thank you so much for taking the time to view this forum at your home, at your computer, at your PC. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Being educated when you go to that voter's box makes a difference. And again, the one thing that I want to emphasize is common sense, child safety, and technology-based business. Those are the things that I know that I can bring to the table. These are the things that I know that I can produce results for you, the homeowner, the taxpayer, and the ratepayer. My name is Victor Dominguez, and I'm running for City Council for Beaumont 2010. And you can find my website at dominguez4council.com, and you can go numerical 4 or FOR. We got both of them. And so that being said, if I did not answer any question that you have, if you developed a question, please give me a call. We have a 1-800 number there. I'm there to answer your questions. If you can't get a hold of me, there's something wrong. But I guarantee you, you pick up that phone, you're going to get me. So please, if you developed any questions from this taping, give me a call. We would love to sit down with you and talk with you.
All right, that's time. All right, Paul St. Martin.
I am the only candidate qualified for my seat on the city council. I did not just come on the scene and decide to run for city council. I have been working for the people of Beaumont for the past 7 years and involved in the community for the same number of years. This election has a candidate for everyone. If you want false promises, there's a candidate for you. If you want a candidate that has little or no clue, there's a candidate for you. If you want a candidate with integrity and that has a plan to keep Beaumont a safe place to live, work, shop, and raise a family, and can work with our neighboring cities on joint projects that benefit the Pass area, then I'm the candidate for you. Vote for Paul St. Martin, at www.stmartin for council. Let's keep Beaumont the pride of the state.
Okay, Richard Beneke, 1 minute.
Yeah, I think in summation, I basically feel that the priority of the council needs to shift from housing development to economic development. We need to make up the slack from decreased development fee revenue by increasing our sales tax revenue, and that can only be done if we place a high priority on industrial, manufacturing, and commercial development. And I say, let's start with our downtown business core. Let's take off that specific plan that I helped write with Councilman Berg and the business community 2 years ago. Dust it off, get it before the council, let's get that thing passed. We need to establish this foundation for when our economy recovers. That's the only way we're going to get back on track. I will do that when you elect me your next city councilman. Richard Beneke for city council. Thank you.
Okay, Roger Berg, the floor is yours for 1 minute.
I agree with Mr. Beneke. We had a good downtown plan. Unfortunately, some group of citizens decided to sue us, and what we were trying to do was help the community, and then a guy saying we're not doing something with the water. And all we've done is try to improve the downtown and come up with a plan that will help keep that area more viable. And one comment that Mr. Victor Dominguez made about the sidewalks and things, urban logic has nothing to do with the sidewalks. The reason there isn't sidewalks in front of some of the schools, because the school district didn't pay for them. They didn't want to spend the money. All the sidewalks and things you've seen, the developers have paid for them. We put sidewalks in, we built trails up through the things, and as far as that high school up there with the field that's being done for the new field, we are working with them to come up with an improvement plan to fit that road and build a bridge across there, but it's going to take a lot of money. It's not our problem, it's theirs, but we're going to work with them to make it work. Because why? Because we care about the community.
Okay, Brenda Knight.
Jobs, smart growth, renewable energy, education. We've covered all those issues. I will deal with each issue one at a time, try to deal in facts, do the best I can for our community. I've been in this community about 9 years. I'm the only one, other than those council members, that have sat in on the city council for the last 2 years. I'm ambassador for the chamber. I'm on the board of directors for the Charlie Foster Family Agency, member of the VFW Women's Auxiliary. I will put my heart into our community, our city, for you, for all of us, for our kids and families. Thank you.
All right, David Castaldo.
From the day the Pilgrims stepped foot off the Mayflower, technology has been a backbone of our country. Mr. Dominguez asked for technology. However, two of the sitting council members, Mr. DeForge and Mr. Berg, are too humble to admit that the city of Beaumont made headlines in the Wall Street Journal when we were the first city to have a total fiber optic network with Verizon. That is technology at its best. The schools. Mr. Dominguez brings up the idea of the schools. The schools were built under county standards, not the city standards. Urban Logic had nothing to do with it. It was the county. After the schools were built, the city annexed that property. The schools that were built within the city do have sidewalks and have sufficient roads. Mr. Dominguez talks about safety. Beaumont has the best police force in the state, period.
All right, thank you all very much. Good luck to all of you. Thank you for joining us here at the Noble Creek Community Center. And thank you for joining us on PE.com. This video will be available for viewing on demand on our site. Join us starting tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. as we begin another full day with 7 forums from Riverside. Once again, thanks to our timekeeper, Carol Park. Today's webcast has been produced by Louis Amistoy, Dave Kaufman, and Angel Ortiz. Don't forget, you can join us on election night, November 2nd, for a live election night recap show. And as those results, kind of wander in late into the night, you can join us on the morning of November 3rd for results as well. Again, thank you everybody for participating, and we look forward to continued coverage of election 2010. For the Press Enterprise and PE.com, I'm Nels Jensen.